Hi, in this lecture we are going to see about sequences in Python. Basically we are going to see about three sequences. One is strings, other one is list and tuples. So when we look at strings, it is going to be immutable. Already we have seen about that, and lists are going to be mutable sequences and tuples are going to be immutable sequences. And also we will see what is the difference between list and tuples as well as the difference in strings. So let us see the operators that are used with strings. Already we have seen that whatever is enclosed within double quotes or single quotes or triple quotes are considered as strings in Python. So the first operator that we are going to discuss is about the in operator. So what is the use of in operator is, in operator can be used for checking whether a particular substring is present in a string or not. For example, I can write like this: A equal to K in my job, right? So my job is actually a string which is for example, if you consider my job is equal to professor, right? I am going to give a string, my job is equal to professor. Now this I am checking whether K is present in this particular professor. No, it is not present, so you will have it as false. Here the string is different. Maybe if I say like my job is like kite, for example, then K is present, right? So if I check like K in my job, that it will be true when K is present as a part of the string. Otherwise it will give as false, right? So A will have a boolean value as true or false. So in operator returns a boolean value. It's not only a character, you can also check for a string. It's like a substring. So I am checking C equal to spam in ABC spam def. So this spam is part of the string, so it will return true. But it doesn't return the position, it just returns only true or false. Next important thing that we have to know in all the types of sequences is indexing and slicing. This indexing and slicing is common for all the sequence what we are seeing here, strings, list as well as tuples. So let us consider this particular string, slice of spam. If this is a string, then the indexing will be like this, okay? Indexing refers to position of the characters in the string. You can say position of the character is going to be the index of the character. There are two types of indexing generally followed: forward indexing and reverse indexing. The forward indexing starts with 0. So you can see that the first character is having the index as 0, second character is having the index as 1, and third one is having the index as 2, and so on. And the last character will have n minus 1. If n is the total number of characters present, then the last character will have the index as n minus 1. In reverse indexing, the last character is given a value of minus 1, before that is having minus 2, and so on. So the first character will have an index as minus n. Okay, so we have to remember that there are two types of indexing: forward indexing and reverse indexing. Forward indexing starts with 0 and ends with n minus 1. It is from left to right, whereas reverse indexing starts from minus 1 and it ends with minus n. It is from right to left. And slicing, how it can be done is, actually slicing, you have to just remember a cake, right? If there is a round cake, assume like that. When you have to do slicing, you need to say the 2 points where you are going to cut, this point as well as this point, right? So in slicing we have to give 2 indexes. Okay, so if the string is A, B, C, D, E, F like this up to P, and I say 1:10, what will happen is, this index is 0, this is 1, 2 and so on, right? So it will start at 1, means it will start from B, right? It will start from B and it will go up to, it can go up to 10, less than 10. We have to remember like range, just recall the range function. The second end value whatever you give is the end, okay? So you will get values before that only. Similarly in slicing also, when you give 10, you will get values before 10, less than 10, okay? And this is the third one is going to be the step. So we have given here a step 2. This is option as in the case of range. If you are not giving this, then step will be 1. So here what we are giving is 1:10. So this particular character will be taken, okay? And then since the step is 2, it will go to this particular place and take this one. And then here, so you will get B, D, F, then H, okay, and then J. right? This is how it will take. It will not take L because its value is, index value is greater than 10. Okay, so if you number it, it will be greater than equal to, even equal to 10 will not be taken. Okay, so when you give S1 colon 10 colon 2, when you are doing slicing, what will happen is it will take all characters from 1 less than or equal to 10. Since the step value is 2, it will go 2 to along the forward direction. And it is also possible in slicing that you can skip both the indices, both the start as well as end index. If you are going to skip it, then the entire string will be taken. So it will start from the first character and you have given step as 2. So the first character is A, then C, then E, then G, I, K, M, O. Okay, all the characters will be taken. This will be the string. And how can we reverse string in Python? It's very interesting. You consider the entire string. So when we want to consider the entire string in slicing, you will give colon colon. Okay, colon is the separator in indexing for separating the 3 components that we can give. Okay, start, end as well as step. And when we are going to skip both the start and the end, entire string will be taken, and we give the step as -1, then the reverse of the string will be considered. And is it possible to give like this 42 plus 1? No, you will get an error because it is a strongly type checking language. Though Python is very flexible, okay, we have seen that it is a dynamic type language and so on, but also it is important to note that it is a strongly type checking language. So when it has to do operation, plus operation, it is defined between integers. I can write 2 plus 3. This is equal to 5. This is allowed, and also it is allowed between the strings. I can give apple plus tree. This is also allowed, right? It is equal to apple tree. I can give like this. Okay, this is allowed. I can apply this plus operator between 2 strings or between 2 integers. When you apply, or 2 floating point values, any numerical value I can apply a plus. So when you are applying a plus between numerical value, addition actually takes place, and when you are going to apply plus between strings, concatenation takes place. But you cannot apply between a string and a integer, then you will get a error because it is a strongly type checking language. So if you have to do this change, either you have to convert this string 42 is within the code, so only it's a string. Okay, either you have to convert that string to an integer, or you have to convert this 1 to a string. Either one of the things have to be done. And also we have to know how we can convert from character to code to integer and so. We already know that ASCII value is used for giving each of the characters a number, right? ORD is the function to know the ASCII value of a character. So if I am going to give like ORD of small a, okay, then it will give me 97. 97 is the ASCII value of small a. So if you want to know the ASCII value of a particular character, then you can use this ORD function, and CHR function is the function which is going to take an integer and give the corresponding character. So for example, if I give like CHR of 97, then I will get A. If I give CHR of 66, okay, I will get capital B, and so on. How we can search in a string, whether a substring is present or not? In many occasions it may be useful. So find is the function. In many problem solvings, you may have to find out whether a particular substring is a part of a string or not. Find function can be used for it, right? So find function, when we see the syntax, first one will be the you will call it through the string in which you are making the search, right? So let us go to the interpreted mode and check it. Yeah, so you can check apple dot find of p. Yeah, so this is how you will work with it, right? This is the string in which you are going to search, right? So string dot find, it is a function. This function is working on the object in which you are going to find, right? And you are giving the substring which you are searching for, p, right? It is giving us 1, right? Or I can also give like this. I can say s is equal to apple, and I can say s dot find of p. s dot find of p. I can also give like this. It's not only one character, you can search for a substring also. Suppose if it is not present, for example, I am saying PPA is not present in the string, then you will get -1. Okay. So, this is how find function will help you to know whether a particular substring is present in the string or not, right. So, that is about the find function. Sorry. Okay. And there are also more functions with string with which you can operate, like you have got rstrip. Rstrip is for stripping at the end, right end. Generally there is a strip function. Strip function is for stripping at both the ends. Okay. L strip is for to strip at the left and R strip is for to strip at the right. What do you mean by strip is if there are excessive white spaces, either white space or tab character or any other new line character like that is available, means then you can strip it using this strip function. Strip function will remove white spaces present on either end of the string. L strip will remove, particularly you want to remove only on the left side, then use the L strip. Only on the right side we can use the R strip. And then we have got functions like upper. When you use this function, all the characters in the string will be converted to uppercase. Similarly, lower can also be used, and then you can check whether all the characters present in the string are alphabets. For example, if you consider the string, actually there is exclamatory mark, new line character, these are not alphabets. Alphabets are only from A to Z in uppercase as well as in lowercase. So, this is alpha will return false, right. And also there are functions like to check whether a particular string ends with some substring or not. So, I can check whether a line ends with NI exclamatory mark new line, you will get it true. Starts with, you can use like this. Okay, these are all the common few functions I have mentioned. There are a lot more functions, interesting functions with which you can work with strings. Next sequence what we are going to see is about list. How do we represent a list is by square brackets. Okay, so empty square brackets represent empty list. Lists are much similar to arrays in C or C++ or Java, but the difference is here list can contain heterogeneous type of data. In the case of other languages, there is a restriction. When you have arrays, you should have only homogeneous type of data, but here you can have heterogeneous type of data. So, these are all empty lists that we have created. And you can look at this, this is having both integer and floating point value. When you look at this, this is a string, this is a string, and this is a floating point value. Here this list is completely of numbers, this is of completely of strings. So, either it can be purely homogeneous or heterogeneous also. This is about list. And how can we access? As I told in while dealing with strings itself, this indexing and slicing is common. So, when I say L1 of 3, you know that forward indexing is there as well as reverse indexing is there. For all the sequences it is there. So, the forward indexing is this. When I say L1 of 3, I refer to this particular element 4. So, you will get as 4. And slicing also we can do 2 colon 4. So, when I say 2 colon 5, 2 will be included. Index at element 2, element at index 2, there is 3, element at index 3, element at index 4 will be included, 5 will not be included, right. That is the property. So, 3, 4, 5. And also it is possible, this is a mutable structure, this is the only mutable structure. So, it can be changed, one of the element of the list can be changed. So, how we can update this? If you have a list like this, I can say L1 of 2 equal to 1, 1, 1. So, I am going to modify this particular element. After that, if you print L, you will see that the third element is changed. You can also delete the element del of L1 of 4. This 4 means this particular element will be removed. So, you will see a list without 5. And there are some basic operations that you can make in a list. Len is the function which is present to give the number of elements in the list. So, len of the list will give number of elements in it, and for concatenation you can use plus, right, and star is for repetition. So, if I say a list star 4, 4 times it will get repeated. Okay. And as we have seen in the previous case, it is strongly type checking. So, I cannot I cannot apply plus between a list and a string. Instead, if I want to convert, then I have to give str of this. When I say str of this will form a string itself. Actually, let me write and show you. str is the function to convert to string. str of 1 comma 2, when you consider this, you will get a string, okay, of length 5. This is the first character, this is the second character, this comma is the third character, this is the fourth character, okay, actually 2 3, index will be 2 3, and this is the fifth character, okay. That will be the string equivalent. So when you concatenate with 3 4, you will get a string of length 7, right, okay. So this is how we will get, and then you can also convert this to a list. When you convert a string to a list, each and every character will be put as a separate element, but they will be like strings only. So when you print, you will see 1 comma 2, they are numbers as usual, but here they are strings. Then you can also use the membership operator in for checking whether a particular element is present in the list. Tree n, the list will return true. And also you can use with the for loop, as we have seen. Actually for loops expects after in a sequence. List is also a sequence, so we can use like this. So when I say for x in 1 comma 2 comma 3, the elements one by one will come and take the value of x. So the first thing will be 1, second thing will be 2, 3 and so on. And also we can write list comprehension. This is very very important, and many of the data science packages, this list comprehension only they write. What is list comprehension is shorter way of forming a list. This is particularly useful when you are going to form a list or when you are going to create a list. In that situation only this list comprehension is useful. Look at this particular thing. RES is a new list that we are going to form. We will put within square brackets. Since we are forming a list, we are putting it within the square brackets, and then C cross 4. You are just saying C cross 4. What is C? For that, look at the next part. For C in span. So what will happen is the character one by one will come and sit in C. So for the first iteration S will come, for the next one P will come, for the next one A will come, for the next one M will come, right. So 4 values will be taken by this C, and you are asking it to repeat. So you will get a list of 4 elements, each one of the length 4. So 4S, 4P, A and M, right. This is how list comprehension. If already a sequence is existing, from the already existing sequence, if you want to form a new list, then you can go for this list comprehension. If you have to write it as a normal code, then you have to follow this. Empty list you have to declare, and then you can say for C in span, you have to use this append function. Append function is useful for adding an element to the list. So you will say RES. RES is the name of the list. Dot append C star 4. So C first it will be S and so on. And after that you print, you will see a list of 4 elements. And indexing and slicing is very common. So when I say L of 2, actually forward indexing is 0, 1, 2. So I refer to this element, and reverse indexing is also present. This is -1, -2, -3. So L of -2 will be span, this span. And the slicing, I can just say 1 colon. So when I say L of 1 colon, I mean I start from the index 1. So I refer to this span, this particular span, and when I do not specify the end index, it means that it will go till the end of the list. So all the elements from index 1 will be included. There are only 2 elements at index 1 and index 2. So you will get like this. And also you can do insertion, deletion, replacement in list. Consider a list like this with 3 elements. Now what we are doing is, we are saying like slicing, okay, 1 colon 2. When I say 1 colon 2, I refer to only one element at index 1. Okay, so we know that the index starts from 0, so 0, 1, 2. So when I say 1 colon 2, you refer to only one element at index 1. So this 2 alone is considered equal to 4 comma 5 we are saying. So what will happen is this 2 will be replaced by 4, 5. So you will see that when we print L, you will see 1 comma 4, 5 comma L. This is how you can do replacement in list of Python. And I will say 1 comma 1. When I say 1 comma 1, I refer to the only element, right. That is 1 comma 1 means nothing, isn't it? It starts at 1 and end at 1 means it is not going to replace anything. When I say 1 colon 2, then it refers to the only element at index 1, because end value is 1 more than the index of the element where we should stop. Okay, but when you look at this, it is like it should stop at 0 because the end index is 1. It should stop at 0, but it starts at 1. So nothing, empty is the slicing result will be empty list, right? Here you are going to give 6, 7. So it is like inserting at the position 1. So you will see 1, 6, 7, 4, 5, 3. Okay, this will be the list. After this list will be modified as this list. And 1, 2 is equal to empty list, means you are not inserting anything, right? Or it is like you are deleting the element at index 1. What was at index 1 is 6. The 6 will be removed and you are inserting nothing at that position. You are replacing that element at index 1 by nothing. So you will see that rest of the elements are present here. And this also you can do. Okay, so you can give colon 0, insert at 0, right? So you are going to keep all the elements before this one. So when I give colon 0, you will see that the list becomes all elements before, that is 2, 3, 4 before 1. And if you say like len of L colon, okay, then it will len of L actually will say the number of elements, okay, and it is going to insert at that particular position. So you will see the resulting elements as this one, right? Len of L colon equal to 5, 6, 7 means this 5, 6, 7 will be inserted at the end of the L. Already L contains 2, 3, 4, 1. So in addition to that 5, 6, 7 is also added. And also you can use the extend function. Extend function is also present in Python to add at the end. You can use that also. And append already we have seen to add an element, one element at the end, extend it for adding a list to the end. That is the difference between append and extend. Okay, and there is a built-in function sort. So when I say L dot sort, automatically sorting will happen, and when you are doing sorting between the strings, then it happens in the lexicographic order. Okay, lexicographic order, it happens in that particular order, in the order of dictionary, and capital letters come before the small letters in ASCII. So capital letters, the string starting with capital letters will be considered to be lesser than the strings that starts with small letter. And also you can do like if you do not want that difference between capital letter and small letter, then you can override that by giving an additional argument key equal to str.lower. If you give like this, then before sorting all the strings will be converted to lowercase, so that it is in proper order as you expect, without the uppercase lowercase differentiation. You will see that it is coming in the alphabetical order. And if you want, generally sorting happens in ascending order. If you want it in descending order, then you have to give one more argument, that is reverse equal to true. When you give reverse equal to true, then it will sort it in descending order. And the other things, as we have seen, extend is there. One more function that we may have to know is pop. Pop is for removing an element from the list, any one of the elements. Generally the last element will be removed from the list. So if the list is having 5 elements like this, after pop it will return 5, pop will return 5, and you will see the list is containing only 4 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, and reverse also can be used for reversing the elements of the list. So if you have got a list L as 4, 3, 2, 1, after the list is reversed, you will get that 1, 2, 3, 4. Reversed is returning a sequence, so you may have to use a list conversion. Okay, when you give us list, this type conversion happens and it returns you a list. And other common things are index can also be used for finding out the position of the element. For example, if L is having spam x ham, then L dot index of x will return the position of the element in the list. Actually the index starts, forward index only is returned. So the index starts with 0. So index of x is 1, that will be returned. And then I can use the insert function also for inserting. One way is by slicing, other one is by insert function also we can insert. So when I say 1 comma toast, one of the string, one of the element can be inserted using this way. And also we can remove. Remove function is also there. To remove an element from the list, you have to mention the element, not the index. You have to mention the element and then remove it. pop is there, and also count. Count is for returning how many times it occurs. For example, if I say L dot count of spam, then you will see that spam occurs once, so it will return 1. Okay, and also you can delete one of the item and delete a particular section also. When you use slicing and say 1 colon means from the index 1 everything will be removed, delete. Okay, and yeah, these are the common things present. Next we are going to discuss about the sequence tuples. Tuples are very much similar to list. The only difference is they are immutable, right, and they are indicated by the braces parenthesis. There we have seen that we will use square brackets, here we will use parenthesis, right, and they are immutable. That is the major difference between a list and a tuple. So wherever you want to have a read only collection of elements, then you have to have it as a tuple. Okay, so that the programmer do not accidentally modify the values of the structure, right. So these are all some examples, and even if you are not mentioning a parenthesis, even if you miss it, by default it will take as tuple only. So you can see here actually parenthesis is not typed, I just put it and showed to you. If you have a collection of elements separated by comma, then by default it will be a tuple only. How do we represent empty tuple? Is by empty parenthesis. There is a special case for tuple with only one element alone, because if we represent a equal to 50 with an parenthesis, then it will be treated like an expression, because parenthesis is a part of expression also. Arithmetic expression, parenthesis can be part of it. So it will just evaluate. To avoid that, what we have to do is we have to put a comma at the end. If there is only one element in the tuple, then we have to put a comma at the end. Other than that, the indexing concept is there. So when we use the tuple name of 0, it refers to the first element of the tuple, and then slicing is also present, right. Concatenation is present. You can concatenate two tuples. This is a new tuple, right. Repetition is possible. You will get new tuples by that, and indexing, slicing is possible, and you can convert a list to a tuple. You can use this tuple of TMP. TMP is the name of the list, and you can use sorting. Just recall how did we do sorting in a list. If L is a list, then it is possible to say L dot sort, okay, but in tuple it is not possible. When we say L dot sort, what happens is the sorting algorithm works on the object L and make modification in L, okay. But in the case of tuple, I cannot say T dot sort. Why? Because T is a immutable structure. This object should not be modified. Instead, it should return a new object. So sorted is a function. I cannot call it through the object of the tuple. Instead, I can pass tuple as an argument. So I will say sorted of T, which will return me a list. Then I can convert that to a tuple. Okay, so this is about the short introduction of the different sequences present in Python. This knowledge will be very much helpful when we further see the NumPy packages and pandas and so on. Thank you.